Hello again. So I'm home from work, thank God. And here is my plate, honey. It's it just everything is great. I did such a good job. I'm so proud of myself. So I have seen um I'm back on HBO Max. Oh, that Materialist movie, so good by the way if you haven't seen it. So I'm on episode 4 of the Game of Thrones. All right, hold on. Let me go to the actual. No, don't start playing it. Calm down. Okay, so episode 1, we get introduced to the Starks. Okay, we get introduced to the Starks and the Lannisters. We get introduced to a bunch of people. Okay, first episode's called "Winter is Coming," which are the words of the Stark House. So this is kind of like a medieval timey show. If you haven't watched it, I'm usually not into this type of stuff, but all of the plots and the twist, um, yeah, they're like all there's so many plots and storylines because there's so many characters in these 8 seasons. It's crazy. But yeah, so here we are. Ned Stark is the man of House Stark. He is best friends with Robert Baratheon, who is king right now, um, and is married to Cersei Lannister. I say that like that because she's a bitch. She doesn't change the whole show. And what's crazy is it's about a month long road between because there's different like towns, villages, cities, whatever you want to call them. The capital is in King's Landing, which is where Robert Baratheon and Cersei they all live, right? The Lannisters and the Baratheons. So they're in charge right now. But the hand of the king, Robert, has just died, or as they find out later in the episode, he has been killed and set up by the Lannisters. So Robert goes there and he's like, "Look, Ned, I trust only you as my friend. I haven't seen you in 9 years, but you are like my best friend. I need you to come and be the hand. I know you need to leave your family, but you need to come on. Like, I feel like something's off, right?" And so Ned, being a loyal friend, he tells him, he hesitates on the decision, but he says yes eventually because he has to serve his king, whatever. Um, Ned is married to Catelyn Stark. She is originally a Tully, right? So there's a bunch of different houses, right? They have 5 kids together. Is it 5? Yeah, I think. So we have Rob, who's the oldest, and then we have, I think, Sansa, and then we have Arya, Bran, oh, and Rickon. Yeah, so it is 5. And apparently, like 17 years ago, Ned Stark goes off to war with Robert, and he brings back a baby who is Jon Snow. Now, they, depending on where they were born or raised, I guess, that determines what their last name is if you're a bastard. So, like, Jon Snow's mom is not Catelyn Stark. I actually know who his mom is, but if you don't know, I'm not going to spoil it for you later on when we find out who it is. You'll be like, nah. Okay. Anyways, sorry, I got a little cough going on this week. So, anyways, they Robert and Cersei come, of course, to ask for him. Cersei has a twin brother named Jaime Lannister. We find out this episode that they are actually fucking on the side, and that Well, you kind of notice right away, but the three children that are Cersei's and Robert's are really Cersei's and Jamie's because they all got blonde hair, honey. There's no way that none of them would have brown or black hair when Robert Baratheon is of brownish black hair. And I'll just tell you now, later on, it's in this same season, Ned finds this shit out because he's reading through a book and it says that every Baratheon, that every true Baratheon that's ever been born has black hair. Black or brown hair. Not not fucking blonde. Okay? Anyway, so they're always having sex on the side. It's weird. Like that's your brother girl. So they're twins. She goes through the whole show with this mind state of that's my soulmate. We shared a womb together. We're going to share our life together. Whatever, right? So that part it's weird to get used to, but you will get used to it because that's just part of the show. They also have a younger brother. His name is Tyrion, one of my favorite characters throughout the series. You will find out why. And Tyrion is a dwarf. He's unloved and unclaimed by his father and his family. They basically hate him, except for Jamie. Jamie is, they're kind of like best friends, you know. They've always gotten along. Jamie's always defended him. Hey. Hello. All right. Got sidetracked a little bit. Cortez came home and then I ate and whatever. Anyways, so yeah, as I was saying, Tyrion is a pretty good character. He is basically like his motto throughout the show is like he drinks and he knows things. He sleeps with whores all the time. You know, they have like brothels or whatever. So anyways, I also forgot to mention earlier that Robert doesn't really love Cersei. I mean, and Cersei doesn't really love him. It's just back then a lot of the marriages were arranged based on you know, your last name, your title, however, you know, all the things. And back then, before so they went to war 17 years ago because Robert was in love with Ned's sister, Lyanna Stark. So we find out a little later in the show what the truth behind this whole situation was, but Lyanna, they say, was kidnapped, if you will, by Rhaegar Targaryen. Okay, so the Targaryens are another big house in this show. They're the dragons, right? Love the Targaryens. Certain ones, I guess. And so Robert's pissed off because, you know, that was who he loved, and Rhaegar took her away from him, and then she ends up passing away. And so they go to war, whatever. He's like determined that he is going to kill every single Targaryen out there because of this shit, right? So before Robert was the Mad King, which was Aerys Targaryen, I believe. And he is actually the father to Daenerys Targaryen, which we also meet in this first episode. Daenerys Targaryen, and then there's her brother Viserys, I think. So there's this whole thing about Jaime Lannister being the Kingslayer because he killed the Mad King. They call him the Mad King because during his reign he went mad, kept laughing while he was dying and saying burn them all, right? Anyways, so they have this very negative outlook on Jaime as him being the Kingslayer because he like stabbed him in the back, literally. and killed him. So then that's when Robert came into the throne. Um, anyway, so the main portion of the show, it takes place in Westeros, which it has a lot of different kingdoms, right? They're called kingdoms, like the seven kingdoms, right? And so if you're in the capital in charge, you're in charge of all seven kingdoms, okay? Now, this whole story is based on who is the rightful heir to the throne, okay? Um, and you'll love who it actually is at the end. Anyways, so then we're going across the narrow sea. So there's a whole sea that divides Westeros from Essos, okay? Essos is all where like all the foreign people are, right? So because of what happened to their dad, Daenerys and Viserys are across the narrow sea. They are trying to find a way to get back to Westeros because they feel like they have the right to the throne, especially her brother, right? Because he's older. So he makes a deal with the Dothraki. And so a lot of people in Westeros don't believe that the Dothraki actually exist because they're a bunch of savages, as they call them. They have an abundance of horses and they have like really cool swords, right? They're like hooked swords, kind of. I don't know what those are called. But they're really good at battle. Like they're pretty fire, okay? So her brother makes a deal with the Dothraki leader, whose name is Khal Drogo, who is played by Jason Momoa. And Daenerys is played by Emilia Clarke, a couple of names that you guys might know. And so she is, this is like her first real, like, kind of encounter with a man. First encounter kind of being sold off. So the deal is that he gives her a bride, and then eventually Khal Drogo's supposed to, like, give him his army. They're all supposed to sail back to Westeros and take the throne, okay? This is what he has in mind. As we're meeting them, they go to, like, their wedding, right? So it's Khal Drogo and Daenerys' wedding. She's like, these people are crazy, right? Because they're just like out there fucking and they're out there fighting. And one of the people that help out is like, oh yeah, a Dothraki wedding with less than 3 deaths is considered a dull affair. Anyways, I'm just like, okay. Somebody gives her 3 dragon eggs as a gift, and she's kind of like mesmerized because she's a dragon essentially in her blood. You know what I mean? And later becomes the mother of dragons. So then we also meet Jorah Mormont. So Jorah Mormont, as we later find out, he has been sent to kind of spy on Daenerys, and I think that's who is sending word back to Robert because he's being paid, because he was kind of shunned for whatever stupid crime he did. He mentioned it, but I forgot what it was. So he's basically doing a test of loyalty. He's sending info back on her, and Robert, once they start heading back home, him and Ned sit down and have a discussion, and he's all like, yeah, we gotta kill her. And Ned's like, what? She's on the other side of the ocean, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And like, the Dothraki are not known for, crossing the ocean at all. Like, anybody from Essos doesn't typically come to Westeros because they don't really travel on sea, right? It's only certain people that really do. Okay, so they get married, blah, blah, blah. Jorah Mormont, she starts to feel safe with him because he knows the common tongue, which is English. And he's like translating between them because he knows the Dothraki language and what have you. So, anyways, that's all done, and we kind of see the true colors of her brother. He's pretty much an asshole, never liked him. And so from there, let's see what else happens. So Jon Snow, we'll go back to Jon Snow. He is supposedly this bastard, right? And so he feels very left out from the rest of the family.
GOT.
And so he decides, he's kind of close with his uncle Benjen, right? Which is Ned Stark's brother. And they have another place. It's called Castle Black. And so they have this huge ice wall that they've built that's been standing for like 1,000 years. They say, like, the stories, that the old wives' tales, basically, they say that they were White Walkers that were around like 1,000 years ago. And these are basically like zombies, right? Ice zombies, I don't know. Anyways, that's kind of what they mean by winter is coming, because they bring the cold or whatever. And there's this Night King, and a lot of people think it's bullshit. Okay, a lot of people think it's bullshit, but in the opening scene of the season, we see them. One of them chops some dude's head off. Now, these are guys that are in the woods that are checking out some situation. They are actually brothers of the Night's Watch. So if you stay at Castle Black with this wall, you are a protector of the realm. You are the Night's Watch. Now, the thing with being in the Night's Watch is you can never father a child. You can never get married. Like, that's just your brotherhood for forever, right? Until you die or what have you. Because if you desert, or if whatever, then you die, pretty much. So he decides, well, he's gonna go there with his uncle Benjen, because his uncle Benjen looks out for him. He loves him, and I think he knows the way he comes off, now that I've rewatched it so many times, is I think he knows the truth behind Jon Snow's parentage, right? So if I said that correctly. Anyway, so he goes there. He meets Sam and a few other fellas, and so they all become friends. They're trying to train and practice and become skilled fighters for the Night's Watch.
She gave away the whole series in one episode.
This is literally the first 3 episodes.
Oh, you already watched 3, Elro?
Yeah, I'm on 4, but I'm gonna have to read.
What clips did you decide to use?
I didn't use any clips yet. Okay, so I don't want to make this too incredibly long. Pretty much covered a lot. A couple other important people that you're probably gonna hear a lot. Varys, he is a eunuch. That means that when he was young, he was castrated. And so he is the one to go to for gossip, basically. He is, he says his whispers. So it's just random people or children that he has hired to be in all places at all times and send him messages about the goings on everywhere. So he knows everything, okay? You think he don't know? He knows. Also, Lord Baelish, kind of like Varys in that aspect of knowing a lot of things from different places at once. Lord Baelish is probably the shadiest, sneakiest MFer in this show. And he's also like had this weird obsession with Catelyn Stark, like their whole lives. I guess they grew up together, and so he's been in love with her forever. And then last thing I'm gonna mention here is, it was a big thing, I don't know how I skipped over this, but in that first episode, we get a taste of Bran. He's very adventurous. He likes climbing up the walls in the buildings in the village, just adventurous, normal, young boy. And oh, excuse me. So he's climbing up the wall to some little lookout tower, it looks like. He's climbing up there. Guess who he finds? Fucking Cersei and Jaime. They have to find a secret little location to do their nasty doings. So he's looking through the window like, oh my God, isn't that her brother, you know? And so they get scared, they stop. Jaime, with his famous words, the things I do for love, pushes him out the window. He pushes this little boy out the window thinking that he killed him. Really, he done slipped into like a coma. Okay, so he's in bed and he's in a coma. Everyone's saying bye. And then, by the way, Catelyn thinks, well, you know, Ned came back with the story that Jon Snow was his son, right? And that he had fathered him with another woman. So Catelyn hates Jon Snow, by the way. Treats him like shit. Okay? And I just hate it. And I just hate that Ned never told her the truth about him. It will never sit right with me. I know he had to do it because of loyalties, whatever. I hate that he never said anything to her. Like, she would have kept your secret, you know? Anyway. And then they also kind of have like a ward that's grown up with them. His name's Theon Greyjoy. The Greyjoys are part of where is it? Hold on, let me Cortez. Oh, the Iron Islands. That's where the Greyjoys are from. It's very rainy there, right?
What is dead may never die.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
And so that's where Theon's from, but he ain't seen his dad or sister in Hellas because he's been growing up with the Starks.
You giving away so much.
No, I'm not. I'm letting them know what happened.
In season 8?
No.
6 or 7?
I'm saying where they're from. Anyways.
Because they don't.
So Bran's in a coma, and so we gonna see if he wakes up. Well, he has waken up by now. I'm already on the 4th episode. He did wake up, but he's paralyzed. Whatever. That's what they said in the show. This is just the going over of the show. That's on them if they haven't seen it. But I haven't even gotten to certain stuff.
I get that. All I'm saying is that, like, you got to do it episode by episode. You got to kind of.
I can't do episode by episode. That's gonna be like a million fucking episodes.
You know too much, and you can't. Well, you chose the Game of Thrones, the podcast.
Oh well, I'm doing every few episodes is what I'm doing. Every few episodes. I don't want to bombard y'all with a whole bunch of videos. I'm not doing episode by episode.
You should do behind the scenes bloopers. Me and my boyfriend debating about the type of content I should put out.
Anyways.
But I'm just saying, it's definitely a blooper moment.
Well, he gonna start his content soon for all you sports fans out there.
Yeah, if I can get a fucking phone.
Yeah, if he can get it together.
Shit. It's been 2 days yet? Oh,
no.
Yesterday. No,
that was yesterday. The night before.
That was since Wednesday, for sure.
Oh yeah, because you were gone. Anyways, so that is everything I can think of that has gone on in the last 3 episodes. So I'm on episode 4. I'll probably come back once I finish the season because it's just a lot going on. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I will see y'all in the next video. Later.